What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down something with SPY, Tesla, and the overall markets. Just note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total. Not to mention 8.1% APY on uninvested cash. Anyways, what's happening with the market? I just want to say that first off, we got some data that came out. Today is Friday, the 13th of September. I just want to note that the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report was decent overall. Consumer sentiment was at 69, which is not bad. That's above expectations. The 5-year inflationary expectations report was actually, it was ended up being a little bit above what we were expecting. So not that great, but it's just by a tiny margin. Everything else was aligned with expectations, if not better. So current conditions were above expectations. And then inflationary expectations were below for the month of September. So most of the data was like so-so. Some things were kind of good. And that's why the market ended up seeing a very interesting move. So when the data came out, the market was pretty wild. It was very tricky if you were trading it in real time. That's what I was doing. But what happened was, let me just show you this. We saw a SPY become very indecisive at that time. It ended up in the middle, got this little it pumped a bit, then dumped, then started pushing after that for a nice little rally. What I basically did is I just took profits and I've just been stepping away because the market looks very choppy, not very good for like options holders. And I see a lot of chop right now. So the market's just kind of indecisive. I think that the market's going to hold up near these levels, though, especially as we continue to get closer to close. Because of all of the puts that are expiring, there's 3 shorts for every long for SPY expiring today, over 1.1 million puts. I want to make it very clear that's why the market's going to likely hold up, but it's not that fun to trade as we're just very choppy. So, what do I see moving forward? Here's my view. We look bullish overall on SPY. We look very, very bullish. There's still more upside potential. But the issue is, as we get closer to the all-time highs, that like 562 to 565 zone is very tough. We do tend to see a lot of like chop there, a lot of rejections here, 565. That's why we're going to likely see a lot of chop on SPY at this level. So I think we're going to likely see a lot of choppy price action. It's not really doing much. The levels to watch for are if we do break and hold above 562, we're looking for a push to 563. And then if that breaks, we could be approaching the all-time high. And if we reject off 562, we're looking for basically, I would say the more critical support's 560. As of right now, I just see us kind of shuffling at 562, so it's not really doing much. And that's all I see for the time being. Lo and behold, the ES futures are looking pretty interesting. We went exactly to my target at 5630. That's where we happen to be shuffling. I called out this level as a significant area. If we had held above 5600, not 560, the 5600 area. So if we do break this, our next target is 5650. But like I said before, we're very choppy right now, so I'm not really expecting it to get there. I think we're just going to chop for the most part. If we reject, we're looking for 5600 as support, but I think there's a good chance we just remain kind of stuck. For Nvda looks kind of choppy right now as well. We have 118 as our support and then 120 as resistance. We're kind of stuck in the middle. We're not really doing much. We're I don't, excuse me. I don't really see a whole lot that's going on with this. We did dip a little bit to the 118 target only to come back up. But we're just range bound right now. If the 118s fail us, we could see a dip to 115. I'm not really expecting that though. And then if we break past 120, we could turn more bullish. As of right now, we're just completely range bound. So I'm not really seeing much of a change. For Bitcoin, we look more bullish though. This is looking pretty good. I could be looking for this to get closer to about that 60,000 area. Our support to watch for is at 58,750. We're just kind of stuck, but this might try to push a little higher. We look pretty good in my opinion, so there's some potential. For my other tickers, we have Tesla. What is Tesla doing? We're just completely stuck. So Tesla has support at 228. If that fails us, we dip lower. If we break 230, we turn more bullish. Otherwise, we're just completely range bound, especially on the 4-hour time frame. So I think that Tesla will likely be stuck within this range, going back and forth and back and forth. I don't really expect much to be going on, at least from this point on. So watch and see how this ends up moving. It's going to be very, very critical for us to be patient, and we'll see how things develop. But we're just range bound for now, at least for the time being. For other tickers out there, we have NQ. NQ is looking a little bit more bullish. If we manage to hold above 19,500, we're looking for a bigger push for 19,700. If we end up losing support here, we could be tipping back down towards 19,260. But this looks a little bit more bullish to me if we continue to hold above 19,500 going into next week. However, right now, I just want to say that we're just very choppy. So we're just trading sideways for the time being. And we're going to likely be range bound for the majority of the day. So we're not going to get that breakout quite yet. I think we just continue to do that. Same thing with the QQQ. So I said if we manage to hold above 473, we're looking for 475. That's exactly where the QQQ has gone to. If we had lost 473, you'd be looking for a dip all the way down to, first off, 472.25, followed by 470. But right now, we're just choppy. We're just chopping, shuffling in the 475 area. I think we're just going to continue to do that. Not the best for holding options, guys. So I would warn to be careful with doing that for today, unless you try to scalp like for more volatility at the end of the day. I think there might be a bigger move towards close today, but until then, we're just going to likely continue to be choppy for a long time. For Apple, we have 224 as resistance and then 222 as support. We're going to likely be range bound, not really seeing much with this. If 224 breaks, we could be looking for 225. And if we lose 222, we're looking for a dip down to 220. Otherwise, we're just completely range bound. For the IWM, we have a interesting range right here. We have this 214 area as our resistance. If we break that, we could be pushing for this 216.6 to 217 area. And if we reject here, we could be dipping back down these lower levels. But this looks more bullish. It looks like it's holding up very well, outperforming the markets. And I think we have potential to get closer to 217. This is our chop zone, though, between 216.68, I believe, and then around 217.68 as well. We're going to likely continue to do that, so we'll give this the time it needs. So I'm not really seeing much, but I do think that we could push a bit more for the IWM. Coinbase also has potential, but 167 is a tough resistance, followed by 169. Our support to watch for is currently at 165, not to mention a 161.5. But this looks a little bit more bullish. We could push a little bit higher on coin. We'll see if we break resistance. Otherwise, we're just completely stuck. For Amazon, we're also just range bound right now. We have a nice looking structure. We're on a bit of an uptrend. If we break past 188, we're looking for 190. And if we end up losing support 186, we could be dipping, but this looks a little bit more bullish in terms of its trend. However, for today, we're just range bound. We haven't been able to crack 188. So I think we're just going to shuffle for now. There is upside potential later on, but it's just shuffling for the time being. Meta has resistance around this 525 area. If we break that, we're looking for 528 and 530. And then we have 520 support. If we lose this, we could be tipping towards 517, then 514. So I think if you look at the smaller time frames, Meta is on the bigger time frames, it looks like it's a little bit more bullish, but on the smaller time frames, we're just kind of like range bound. So I think we're just going to continue to be stuck within the range of the day. The move was made during the release of the data, so we're stuck between the 518, 519 area support, and then resistance happens to be around 527 to 526. So I think we're just range bound for now, not really doing much. And I see the same thing for the rest of the tech stocks I'm going to go over. We're just range bound on Microsoft. The range is bigger. We have 430 is tough resistance, and then 426.93 is our support. We're just range bound. I do see some upside potential, but we're still kind of stuck. And Google's the same. We're also kind of stuck here as well. We have this like 159.25 areas our resistance. Then we have like 157 as our support. I don't really see much as well for Google. We're just kind of stuck as well. I do like the fact that on the 4-hour time frame, we ended up breaking and trying to hold above our 50 EMA. So if 157 holds, we will remain a little bit more bullish. Otherwise, we're just completely stuck. But that's pretty much it for now. With that being said, guys, I just want to thank you all so much for listening. There's not really much happening. I do see a little bit more upside potential for SPY. But like I said before, we might see a lot of shuffling still. And then we'll see how things develop from here. But with that being said, I thank you for listening. Give the market the time it needs. Be a little bit careful if you're trading options. I think the market could push higher, but be careful when we get closer to 563. And then, like I said before, there might be a lot of shuffling, so just be careful. With that being said, have a good day, guys. I think the market has more volatility coming towards the end of the day. And until then, I'll see you guys very soon on the next one. Thank you for listening, and peace out.